It is now episode 10 in this series, and I still don't have a single enchanted tool or piece of gear. We really need to take care of that, so let's head to Sector 2 and get some librarians. Oh, and before we actually get started, there is one big lie in this episode, so if you figure it out, write it in the comments, and the first person that gets the right answer will get to name today's big build. So now, on to Sector 2. So far, Sector 2 does not have all that many building. There's this little warehouse here and the chocolate factory with a windmill. And the build that I've designed for my librarians is gonna be quite big, so I don't want to put it here and just make the rest look little. Instead, we're gonna go in that direction and put it right there on top of the hill. It's gonna be kind of a library, but like fancy, almost like mansion-like library. So I think it's gonna look cool if we put it up here on top of the hill, kind of overlooking the little village. There's gonna be a bunch of other little buildings here and there, so I think it's gonna look pretty cool. And dang it, it's nighttime. I have time. For the main block palette, or for the block palette, we're gonna be using Scoria as the main block, some Scoria variants, not gonna be that one exactly. And we're gonna be using Ochrum and Tough as accents. That's gonna be like the main block palette. There's gonna be other stuff, but that's the first layer of that. And that is the library, but before we head inside, I gotta mention, the big lie was not about like not using dark oak. I just forgot to mention it before starting the time-lapse, okay? I know it's a main block on the second floor. It's not the lie. The lie was bigger than that, or will be bigger than that. So let's just head inside, where you will see that it's literally just a corridor. It's a lot smaller than it seems from the outside. Just this corridor on this side here, it's leading to the tower, which is completely empty. I have no idea what to put in here, so if you have any suggestions, please write them down in the comments. I would really appreciate it. And on the other side of the corridor, we have this big room. That's where we're gonna put our librarians. We're gonna give them some good books to write. And yeah, not decorated yet, because I don't really have a good access to bookshelves or bookcases, things like that, so we're just gonna figure all of that out once we start getting librarians. And the reason why it's so small, if we can go back to that, the reason why it's so small is that, well, it's expandable. So this corridor here, well, we could push back this wall a bit, extend the corridor, and have like some other wings for this little building. But I don't really have any good uses for anything more than what we currently have, so yeah, I was just planning ahead instead of just making that one little room. We can also head upstairs, so we have this little platform here that lifts us up, also known as an elevator. Don't know why I didn't just say it like that. Again, upstairs, just a corridor, which leads to this other area, that little balcony that we saw from down there. So we're gonna have some more librarians up here. But to get librarians, we're gonna need emeralds. And what better way to get emeralds in the farming sector than to make a big farm and trade with some farmers. So yeah, we already have a little villager breeder going. You might notice some clues about the existence of a villager breeder, so we're gonna put them to good use in that tiny little marketplace here. Just 3 stalls, all containing farmers that trade for carrots and potatoes, each one of them. I specifically picked them for that because that's what we're harvesting in the farm over there. So harvesting carrots and potatoes, bringing everything into this vault where we can pick up our veggies and we can find a farmer that will trade some emeralds for those veggies. And when we're done trading, we can throw the emeralds into this chute. It's gonna send the emeralds to the library over there, and we can drop the excess veggies into this chute here, and it's gonna send everything back into the vault. So it's pretty simple, pretty efficient system. I'm very happy with that. And the farm over here is... I forgot to decorate it. Okay, we need to take care of that. Give me a second. That's a bit better. So the farm itself is super simple. There's this arm, it's moving across the field, and the harvesters are collecting all the veggies. And when it reaches the end, it's gonna spin around. There we go. Set itself up to go on another run across this other side of the field, and yeah, that's all there is to it. With just that, we are getting tons of emeralds. Well, with that and the farmers, of course, but we don't only need emeralds. So if we go and head down here to this tiny little warehouse, we have a cool little machine. We can barely even call that a machine, it's just one little thing. There's this barrel here. If we put sugarcane in it and we go into free cam mode across the wall, you can see we are smashing that sugarcane into paper, because we need paper to train librarians as well. So yeah, all of that is gonna go and join with the belt that carries the emeralds, and everything ends up in the basement of the library, which we can access using this new little elevator. There we are. We got emeralds, we got paper. We are now officially ready to train librarians. That is fantastic. So we're midway through training our villagers, and I have to say, these little seats that we're getting from Create, they work wonders. They just keep the villagers in place, and it makes things a whole lot easier. But something that's a bit less easy is getting books, because as I said earlier, I don't have access to leather. But luckily, we have bookshelves which we can trade from villagers, and then we can just, you know, break them and get books, which is fantastic until you put Silk Touch on your diamond axe, like a dum-dum. So I don't have access to books anymore because I took some bad decisions. But we are gonna make some better decisions now. We're gonna make a machine that's gonna do that bit for us automatically. So let's head down to the basement, which is maybe a bit too small, but do not worry. I've already extended the room. We're gonna clear out that wall later. That's not the point for right now. So what we're gonna do, it's actually gonna be super easy. We're gonna have a drill not facing the wall, ideally, like so. And we are gonna put a deployer right here. Why did it place it like that? That's weird. If I do it like that, no. Okay, anyway. I thought it would connect the shafty bit with the shaft, but anyway, yeah. Deployer like that. So the deployer is gonna put a bookcase here, and the drill is gonna break the bookcase into books, and we're gonna collect all the books and all of that. So all we have to do now is connect it to some power and manage the whole inventory thing, just like that. So I had to move it just one block to the right, but it is fully functional. Let's take a look at that thing in action. We can throw some bookshelf there. They are gonna get placed and broken. It's perfect, and also they're moving one by one just because I think it's a lot cooler to see. And with all of that done, we were finally able to decorate the library part of the library, this room here. So we now have a huge pillar full of books. Just not sure how to pick that one right there on top, for example, but you know, that's not my problem, that's their problem. So they all have their little isolated nooks where they can work. But like if these two are super chatty, well, they won't be bothering these 3, so everyone's gonna be super productive. That's fantastic. And on that note, that's how we are gonna end today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. I'm really glad with all the progress that we've made in Sector 2. It's really coming along super nicely, so thank you for watching and bye bye.